Which Chicago Bears should you own on your fantasy football team? What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. This time I got a fantasy football discussion video. I know I've never done one of those before, but I love fantasy football. I know a lot of you guys do as well. I've played almost every single year for the past, 7 or 8 years, and every year I'm in a money league. I'm in two or three different leagues as well. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, it makes you more interested in football in general, of what other teams are doing, of what other players are doing. So last year I actually won my league for the first time in a while, so I was pretty happy. I won $300. But in this video, I'm gonna give you guys advice on which 3 Bears players you guys should own on your roster for next year. I think that these 3 players are extremely undervalued based on their ADP right now. You can get them in way later rounds than they should actually be going for. They're gonna have tremendous seasons, so they're gonna be absolute steals. And I know a lot of you watching might not be Bears fans because, fantasy football is really a thing that everybody does. So if you're not a Bears fan, this video is going to be especially helpful for you because you might not know all the details about the Bears roster. You might not know what our coach likes to do and all that. So this video is going to be very important for you. And before I begin, I want to say that I'm only going to talk about the offensive players in this video. If you want to know about my opinions on the Bears defense, they're obviously going to be an amazing defense next year. I would 100% recommend drafting them because last year the Bears defense won me a lot of games, single-handedly almost. They had 25, 30 points some games. So if they're available, I would draft the Bears defense. But in this video, I'm only going to focus on the offensive players. The first Bears player that you have to own on your fantasy team for next year is Bears rookie running back David Montgomery. Look, David Montgomery, based on his ADP right now, he's going in the 5th or the 6th round. If you have a Bears fan in your league, he might be going a little bit higher, maybe 3rd or 4th round. But if you don't, right, and he goes in the 5th or 6th round, that is an absolute steal right there. That's crazy that he would be available because he's going as a RB2, RB3, or a flex right now when I think he's going to be, a very tremendous RB1 this entire season. Look, David Montgomery, in case you guys didn't know, he had measurables very similar to Kareem Hunt when he came out of college. So, he has a very similar skill set. He has a similar frame, kind of. He's going to be used in a very similar way because Matt Nagy, our current coach right now, he coached Kareem Hunt in Kansas City. And you saw the amazing things he did with Kareem Hunt. He was used all over the field. He played a majority of the snaps. And I expect David Montgomery to do the exact same thing. He's going to be on the field for the majority of the snaps. He's going to handle, the lead back role, but also going to be used a lot in the passing game as well. So you can expect him to have some games where he just completely goes off, being used in almost every aspect of the game. The Bears have 2 other running backs. They have Tariq Cohen, they have Mike Davis, but Tariq Cohen I expect more to be used in the passing game this year. He's not going to be, running the ball as much as he did in previous years. And Mike Davis is only going to be a change of pace back, so you can expect David Montgomery to have a tremendous year this year. So there was a sense around the league last year that Matt Nagy does not like to run the ball, which could not be further from the truth. The Bears ran the ball 468 times last year, which is good for 6th in the NFL. So this notion that the Bears offense is not committed to the run is completely false. It's just that Jordan Howard last year, he did not fit our offense, the way a David Montgomery does. Jordan Howard could not cut the way that David Montgomery can. He could not be used in the passing game the way that David Montgomery can. Obviously, David Montgomery also has some weaknesses in this game. He is not the best blocker. He is not the blocker that Jordan Howard ever was. So on certain downs and pass protection, you might not see him on the field because he cannot protect Trubisky the way that Jordan Howard could. So that might limit his snaps a little bit, but I'm not tremendously worried about it because his skill set on offense is just too good to leave him out for the majority of the snaps. He's still going to play a big portion, the majority of the offensive snaps. So guys, in my opinion, David Montgomery can absolutely have a similar type of year that Kareem Hunt did during his rookie year. I think that he has a very good shot of winning Rookie of the Year. So if he is available in the 5th or 6th round, you should grab him without hesitation. He's going to produce at an RB1 level for you the entire season. I might actually reach for him in the 3rd or 4th round based on how my draft goes because I don't want anybody else to get him. I think he's going to be that valuable. And I am willing to take the risk that comes with, passing up some proven options in the 3rd or 4th round. But David Montgomery, without a doubt, I mean, he is going to produce for you at a high level the entire season. The next Bears player that you should have on your fantasy football team is wide receiver Anthony Miller. Look, Anthony Miller, based on his ADP right now, he's not even being drafted in many leagues. So to get a guy like this in the later rounds or maybe after the draft is over on the waiver wire would be an absolute steal. He is one of the best sleeper picks that you could make of this entire year because he's going to produce at a wide receiver 2 level, in my opinion, this entire season. And the reason why I say this is because he's one of my candidates for a breakout among all the receivers in the NFL based on what happened last year with him. Anthony Miller led the Bears receivers in touchdowns last year while playing hurt almost the entire season. Before the draft combine, he had a Jones fracture in his foot, which affected him in the beginning. And then when the season actually started, he suffered a separated shoulder early on. So that impacted him the entire season. He did not sit out many games. He did not have surgery on it until the season actually ended. So he played with only basically one arm the entire season, which is, his words. He said that I only played with one arm last year. Watch what I can do with two next year. Seeing a fully healthy Anthony Miller in a Matt Nagy offense is going to be a sight to see because the stuff that Anthony Miller brings to the table is just off the charts amazing. He has an incredible ability to gain separation. He makes these insane juggling, just incredible catches that many receivers in the NFL cannot make. He can be used in a variety of different ways. He can line up pretty much anywhere on the field. He has speed, he has agility, he has acceleration, and more importantly, he has the heart to really be a top wide receiver in the entire NFL. The main thing keeping him from breaking out last year was only his health. And now that he's fully healthy this year, you're going to see him used a lot. The sky is the limit for him. Matt Nagy loves to use him in the red zone, so you can expect him to get the majority of the touchdowns that the receiving core on the Bears offense gets. This Bears offense is not centered around any one receiver because Matt Nagy loves to spread the ball out a lot, and so does Trubisky. So you cannot expect any of these Bears receivers to produce at a wide receiver 1 level, but I think that Anthony Miller is a receiver to own in this Bears offense because of the value that he brings. The upside that he has, the risk that comes with it is almost non-existent because he's not going to be drafted in many leagues. It's just too good to pass up. And the last person that I want to talk about that you should draft to be on your fantasy football team is quarterback Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, I said it. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky, which a lot of people hate, a lot of people in the media don't respect, a lot of fans don't respect. Pretty much nobody besides Bears fans actually like him, it seems like. I think that you should draft this guy to be your quarterback 1 going into next season. People in your league might laugh at you when you draft Trubisky as your first quarterback, but you tell them to screw off and you tell them wait until the season actually starts, right? Because I think Trubisky can be the reason why a lot of people are going to be in the fantasy football playoffs next season. It's true, yeah, that Trubisky struggled with accuracy sometimes last year. He had some very good games and he had some very bad games, but all in all, he still finished as a Pro Bowl quarterback who took many positive steps forward in his second year in the NFL, and he still finished 11th in fantasy points per game among all quarterbacks in the NFL, right? He missed even 2 games last year, so if you look at points per game, he's still almost, in the top 10, which is absolutely crazy when you think about it because it was his first year in this new system, his first year with all these new receivers, second year in the entire NFL. So Trubisky really did not show all that he was capable of last year, but he still finished almost top 10 in scoring, which is, pretty amazing, right? Because Trubisky next year, I don't see him taking any steps backward. I see him taking a gigantic step forward because quarterbacks in year 2 of the Matt Nagy system, the Andy Reid system, which, Matt Nagy's system is pretty much an Andy Reid system with a few modifications. Quarterbacks in that system in year 2, they usually take gigantic leaps, right? Because if you look at, some previous quarterbacks in the system, right? Like Carson Wentz, Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith, they all took gigantic leaps in their second year. I fully expect Trubisky to do the same thing because his coach is raving about him, his teammates are raving about him, and I saw the potential that he flashed last season. Also, Trubisky is a perfect fantasy quarterback because he is a dual threat quarterback. Most people don't think about Trubisky as a top dual threat quarterback, but he actually is one. Last year, he finished 5th among all quarterbacks in rushing yards with 421, and he added 3 touchdowns on the ground as well. So his ability to gain yards on the ground and to gain first downs on the ground is very crucial because a young quarterback is sometimes going to struggle with accuracy. So to be able to still, have some production on the ground, from a fantasy point of view, that helps a lot because that's just adding value. That's like Trubisky last year. Sometimes he was like a second running back almost. And one good thing about Trubisky is that he's been pretty adept at avoiding big hits also, so he's not missed too many games. He did take a big hit against the Vikings, I think, with Harrison Smith, but that was kind of a late hit, so I'm not going to fully blame Trubisky for that one. But so far, he's been pretty good at sliding, avoiding contact, so you don't have to worry about injuries too much with him. So Trubisky's ADP right now is like 150, so he's going in the later rounds, not even being drafted in many leagues. So based on this value, right, I think Trubisky is too good to pass up because, first of all, you get to wait this long on a quarterback, which is a really good thing. I think you should always wait on a quarterback, but waiting this long is going to be especially helpful because you can attack so many other positions like tight end, get some depth at running back, get some depth at wide receiver, while other people cannot do that because they'll be attacking quarterbacks early. So from that point of view, it's very good. But also, I think you're still going to get a very tremendous quarterback in Trubisky, even this late. Because Trubisky, I expect, like I just said, I expect him to break out next year. I expect him to have a very good season next year. And, the risk is still very low because you're getting him so late. I would still get another quarterback behind him, maybe like a proven veteran like Matt Stafford or somebody like that. Get a quarterback that has produced in the past that might be going even below Trubisky to back him up. But, based on his value, I would 100% draft Trubisky to be on your fantasy team next year. So that's going to wrap up my video. Obviously, there were other people I could have added as well, like Allen Robinson or Tariq Cohen, which I still think they're going to be pretty solid options as well. But I just think that the value they have is not as good as Trubisky or Anthony Miller or David Montgomery. So those three would be my picks to be on my team next year. Let me know what your picks are down below in the comments. I might also try to set up a fantasy football league for all of you guys, all my subscribers for next year. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you would be interested in, because I should probably start thinking about that pretty soon because that's a lot of people that will want to do that. But as always, bear down.